Hi YouTube, welcome to the summary of the 8th week of my 4th year in medical school. So right now this last week I started a new rotation. It's family med again, but it's at a different place. It is at a hospital that I've already been at. This is my 4th time. I love it here and I always ask to come back. I know all the physicians and the nurses and all the staff, and I love it here. That's all I need to say. So I'm back for that. But I think I left you guys on last Sunday. I was in Philadelphia getting ready to take our COMLEX Level 2 PE board exam. We get to fly out to Philadelphia and take a exam where you have like patient actors and you have 12 patients to see, and it's a pass or fail board exam. So that's what we were doing. Monday is the day we took the exam. We were at a hotel where we could just walk to the testing center, and I can't say much about the exam due to the laws and everything, and I do not want to get in trouble. I can't say much about it, but I'm just so glad it's over. I think waiting is the worst part, just unknown. You never know what your number one with the test is exactly going to be like, and then each patient, you never know what they're going to come in with. So I think that's the worst part. It really wasn't too horrible, other than I just felt exhausted by the end of the day. You see 12 patients in the whole day. So anyways, we were done with that, hopped on a shuttle, got back to the airport, flew home that night, and that was back up where we're both from. We flew there, and that's where our vehicles were. John is now at a rotation separate from where I'm at, so we had to split up. I drove down to where I'm at right now on that Tuesday morning. So he slept at his parents' house, drove down Tuesday morning. He drove to his rotation. I don't think it started till Wednesday, so he had an extra day. Anyways, I got down here and had like a little bit of Tuesday afternoon clinic, and then started feeling like a kind of normal person back on Wednesday morning. So not much to say here. I've been here before. It's where I did my preceptorship back in between my 1st and 2nd year of med school, and that is it's really fun to look. I feel like I can really compare myself to who I was because I'm in the same spot with some of the same physicians, and just seeing how much I've grown even in my interactions with patients. I noticed that I'll go in and introduce myself, and before I'd say like, "Hi, my name's Amy, I'm a 3rd year medical student working with Dr. So-and-so, it's okay if I just talk to you," and I would get maybe the history and maybe do a physical exam, and then any questions they had, I'd be like, okay, I'll write that down for them and, ask them, or I'll bring it up to them, and I would leave, and there really wasn't much to present. I didn't even, I would say, oh, this is what they're here for, but I really wouldn't have like my assessment or plan or anything. And then I came back as a 3rd year and had quite a bit more than that. But even now as a 4th year, the thing I'm noticing the most is I'll go in, introduce myself. "Hi, I'm a 4th year medical student. I'm working with Dr. So-and-so, what's going on today?" And I don't know, I think conduct myself more like a physician than a medical student now. I'll, take my history. It's not so like rigid. I feel like I don't ask like really odd questions. I've kind of found a way to ask things without, I don't know, sounding odd or like I'm reading off a script. And so that's really great. I feel like I don't even have to think of my physical exam anymore. I remember I'd write down the history, and then I'd write down like, oh, I want to check their ears, and I want to check their nose and throat, and and now I don't even do that. I'm like, okay, and I start off. And then what I've noticed the biggest difference is if they have questions, most of the time I feel comfortable answering them. I mean, obviously, if it's something I don't know, or if it's a question, in particular about their case that the physician has been following them, like, oh, I'll bring that up to them and see what they think. But a lot of times if I feel comfortable and know the answer, I just answer it. And the patients don't seem to mind. They seem to be like, oh, wow, okay, thank you. That makes sense. And so that's different. I notice the physician comes in like, oh, Amy's, caught me up on what's been going on. Sounds like this, this, and this. And I'm like, yep, that's true. I'm like, okay, well, here, they'll do some of the exam, and they're like, okay, yep, I think her idea was great. We'll start you on this, or, what she said about that was true. So that's really cool. I'm getting really excited to be able to see that growth in myself. So, I mean, there's still a lot of learning I have to do, but I've at least seen improvement, so that's fun. And yeah, so Wednesday was a full day. I think we were on call that day. And here, when the physician is on call, they don't really have anyone scheduled. It's just if people call into the clinic, clinic's like attached to the hospital. So they call in needing to be seen that day, and it's not like an emergency. They come in to our clinic and we see them. So it's a lot more acute things. I've seen, let's see, that day we were not too busy. I think we saw like 27 patients. So fairly busy, I guess. And it's your things like, you know, upper respiratory infections, UTI, oh, my toenail's infected, or, you know, I'm trying to think of examples that we saw. And then sometimes we'll get odd ones like a surgery consult, and we're like, really? Like, you couldn't make an appointment with your physician, but we see anybody. Yeah, that day went pretty good. We delivered. I got to deliver a baby over the noon hour, and that was really fun. I love delivering babies. Yeah, that is, I think that was Wednesday. Maybe we were on call Thursday. I can't exactly remember anymore. Then we just had clinic, normal clinic day. She's the only female physician out of the group of the males, and so we do a lot of like female physicals, some pap smears, and check up on their mammograms, their DEXAs, and all that. And I love that. I've gotten quite a few pap smears under my belt now just being here. And it was really cute on our first day. She got out a piece of paper and listed down stuff that I wanted to do. So we did like, you know, pap smears and deliveries and incision and drainage and like punch biopsies and thoracentesis, and I can't remember. It was just like a long list of stuff. And then now it's on the door and I like tally as I do stuff, which is kind of fun. Yeah, so she was gone on Friday, so I just hung out. Like I said, I love it here, so I was with the other on-call doc, and gosh, we saw, I want to say, over 40 patients, so that was a busy day. Fridays are typically busy. Also, yeah, that was really fun. And this weekend, I stayed here. Didn't get called in much. I always leave my phone number for anything that interesting that comes into the ER, any deliveries or anything. But I just worked on my ARIS application, and I got my letters of recommendation kind of figured out. I wanted to send like my CV, some other things along, and to the people that I'm requesting them from. So just worked on kind of that. I slept in both Saturday and Sunday. I think I was catching up on sleep just from the stress and all the travel from the week before. So that felt good, but kind of boring weekend. John was working in the town that he's in. He's a few hours away from me, and he was working weekend shifts and everything. He's in the ER, so his shifts are different. Sometimes they're day shifts, sometimes they're afternoon shifts, sometimes they're night shifts. So it all depends. But yeah, that is just about my exciting weekend. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys next week.